Hey everybody, it's David with No Chaser, and really, this channel is just, I'm not trying to give super advice. I mean, right now I'm 12 days sober. Who am I to tell people how to recover? For me, it's more so relaying the experience of the cycle of addiction, being in addiction, alcoholism, and trying to get sober, early recovery, like all that type of stuff. I don't know. I just basically I've noticed that a lot of people find it cathartic to just hear something that they've experienced, and so today's topic, we're going to talk about the wonderful, wonderful game of hiding your drugs and alcohol. And oh man, this is I truly so when I'm with a bunch of people in recovery, and they are we're sharing stories and stuff like that. One of the biggest things is it's not about talking about like the DUIs or when you're in jail or I drank this many beers or I did this many lines or I did this many milligrams of fentanyl or that stuff is. I mean, one, you don't want to glorify it, I guess, and two, it's just that's not what I really connect with people. What I feel, what I really feel is the the feelings, the emotions, the quiet moments to yourself. And I remember like hiding bottles of alcohol. God, especially if you're in a situation where you live with somebody that doesn't want you to drink, you're an alcoholic and you're supposed to be, you're trying to hide it, and the idea of like sneaking into your own house and sneaking out, like you're a cat burglar in your own house, and hiding stuff, and then of course there's like drinking, and where did I put that bottle? I got to a point where I kept forgetting where I put the bottle. So instead of thinking to myself, David, you are such a drunken disaster that you have to hide your alcohol. And then you get so drunk you don't remember where you hid your alcohol when you want to drink it in the morning. Maybe you should stop drinking. No, I got a better idea. How about at the very end of the night, I take a picture on my phone of where I hid the alcohol. So when I wake up in the morning, I can look at it and be like, oh, that's a good hiding place. That is something I literally did. It's insane. What you'll go to keep it up. I mean, it's like hiding is one I think is a important topic in a sense because it it truly I think is one of those like really revealing things as far as your addiction goes. Like there are people that aren't alcoholics who I think have gotten multiple DUIs before, who have gotten trashed, who have gotten blackouts. There's people who've done cocaine a lot of times. People who've done a lot of drugs, maybe weren't drug addicts or anything like that. At parties, what have you. But when you're onto the level of into the realm of sneaking and hiding and doing stuff like that, it's just because again, like I always say, it's those quiet moments to yourself. It's when you're have an empty water bottle and you're pouring vodka in it, and then you take the vodka bottle and you put it under the trash. You dig through the spaghetti and meat sauce and the milk carton, and you shove the vodka bottle underneath there. And all those little things that you do to, you hide it in the garage or, in the sofa cushion. You're just sitting at home, and then anytime you hear noise, you have to like be prepared, and you have it hid there. And one of my favorite things is that I'd have all these ways where I scheme and try to hide the alcohol in the place I was living, and yet you're playing a game that is getting exponentially harder because you're getting more drunk. or you're getting higher, off drugs, and so you're now it's getting harder to keep yourself together cognitively, and so basically I would have all these schemes and ways of like hiding my alcohol, and then I would just straight up just pass out with like the bottle like on the couch with the bottle in my hand. And it it goes back to that form of sort of like these are these symptoms that show the insanity of it all, like the madness. Like I truly, insanity is a good word, but it's truly madness. And I know that like when it came to uh, just all the ways to, cause then there's other forms of hiding it where you have to hide the physical sort of expressions of intoxication, like the smells, the eyes. You got eye drops, you got gum, mints, you got deodorant, double deodorant, you got cologne. You're wearing cologne even though you work in a warehouse. Why are you wearing cologne in a warehouse? You're trying to just be totally normal, except you smell insane because you smell like a Febreze factory that caught on fireball, like the liquor. And it's all playing this sort of game of just hiding who and what you are and what you're doing. I mean, it is truly like a full-time job to be an alcoholic or an addict. All the little intricacies of fitting it into your schedule somehow, trying to make it work, trying to play, and you have to do plotting and planning and like imagining it in the future. Like I have to be able to do it. Like things that are supposed to be good all of a sudden start to become like nuisance. Like, oh my god, it's holidays, so now I gotta pack my drugs, or I gotta like make sure, where am I gonna be able to have a bottle? Because here's one funny thing that happened, not funny by the way, totally alcoholic crazy thing, is that when I drink alone I could drink more responsibly, in a sense. I mean, in the sense of at a different pace. But when I was sneak drinking around other people, there's only certain windows of opportunity that you have to be able to drink. So I would start slamming like, shooters and shots and big pulls from the water bottle and all that type of stuff, because you don't know when you're going to get your next drink. And so like all of a sudden you're really wasted because you just were trying to get as much as you could as quickly as possible because you're just trying to sneak around. And that hiding and scheming is just, it becomes normalized. It becomes just like part of just your day, almost in the same way that like people start their day and they have like, I always go to this Starbucks and order this sort of thing, or I order this for breakfast or this for lunch. On Tuesdays we go out here because it has the discount on Taco Tuesdays or whatnot. It's like that, but in this incredibly shameful, ugly thing that is a weight on your gut and your soul, and you carry it around. And you have to protect it, and you have to keep it secret. And the funny part is that a lot of people already know, but you have to almost like keep it secret just to keep up appearances. And you just hide, and you're just sort of trying to get by with this weird way of being an imposter in your own life. And so I know that feeling all too well. There is in being sober, there's such a freedom in just not having to do that. I mean, I could do a whole nother video about lying. I could do many videos about that. Just the idea of lying and the whole new reality you create with all your lies. But yeah, the sneaking and the hiding is just so exhausting at a certain point. Anyways, if you subscribe, I don't think I've done one of those in a while. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, crack it like the Liberty Bell, man. I don't know. I also do have a podcast called Shoeless in South Dakota that I co-host with my good friend. It goes into recovery, addiction, mental health, and then a bunch of other really weird stuff. So I think you'll enjoy that. If you are struggling, I'm trying this thing too. I'm right there with you. If you're doing good, if you've been sober and clean, keep it going and remember why you're doing it, and that's awesome. And if you're watching this just because you're bored and you wanted to watch it, thanks for watching. Anyways, be well.